St. Matthew 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Shalom. All blessings, praises, glories, and honors be unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Racha Kodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have taught me his truth, as well as men of like mind. Shalom wa chasad to the elect of the nation of Israel, whom are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners of the seed line of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad. To you I say Shalom, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ratazah. This lesson is edifying. Again, this is the book of St. Matthew 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Now, what is iniquity? Iniquity is sin upon sin. What is sin? This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4. Whoso committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is a transgression of the law. And so iniquity is sin upon sin, transgressing of the law upon transgressing of the law. For sin is the transgression of the law of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, who had only given his law through our forefather Moses unto the nation of Israel, thus making us a holy, which means separate people unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He sheweth his word unto Jacob. Jacob representing Israel. For Jacob's name was later changed to Israel, which in the Hebrew is Yah-Shar Allah. He is the prince of the power. Yah, he, Shar, prince, Allah, power. And who's that power? Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation. Why? Because the nation are as a drop that falleth from a bucket, as it is written here in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh of the isles as a very little thing. And so the nations outside of the nation of Israel are as a drop of a bucket, are counted as a small dust of the balance. That is to say that they are insignificant. They are nothing. Especially the wicked. And who is the wicked? The wicked is Esau, Edom, the so-called Caucasian race, according to the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. And so going back to Psalms chapter 147, verse 19, it reads on to say, they have not known them, because the laws weren't given unto the heathen nations, but only unto the nation of Israel. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh. And so, because iniquity, which is sin upon sin, shall abound in the land of America, Babylon the Great, and globally, but especially here in America, Babylon the Great, the love of many shall wax cold, because this land is a hypocritical land that is ruled, that is governed by a hypocritical nation of people. That is the wicked, the Edomites. Okay? And they had some known as the year of the Bible, which the Lord said, what have ye to do with my laws unto the heathens, with the chief of them being the Edomites, because Esau, Edom is a hypocritical nation. They swear in the Bible, and yet they decree unrighteous decrees that are wicked, that are contrary to the laws of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And so this land is polluted, it's corrupted with nothing but sin, with iniquity. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many, especially amongst the nation of Israel, shall wax cold. That's why we're going to see riots and race wars and all that. And as we approach closer, people are going to get sick and tired of these different Vaseline mandates, man. Recently, you had this guy, shoot this store owner in the face because he was told to wear his mask. That's an example of iniquity. The love of many waxing cold because iniquity is abound. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse. I'll start from 6 and then jump down. For wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled, because now we are seeing these devils moving quick because they know that they had but a short time because their hurtful works are fulfilled. And their hurtful works are going to be fulfilled ultimately when they establish their New World Order. Okay? And what is the goal of their New World Order? To cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, which is the you know what, as you should know what I'm referring to. Okay? In their right hands or in their foreheads. Okay? But to those out there that are new, that don't know what the MOTB is, it's the RFID market chip, also known as the NFC chip implant in Europe, also known as the biochip. Okay? Second Ezra chapter 15, verse. Let's start at 14. Woe to the world. Well, actually, let's start at 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, because this whole chapter is great. But I just wanted to read certain key points to link them back up to St. Matthew 24, verse 12. For the sword, and what is the sword? Those ultimately ICBM nuclear missiles. But before that, June Jacob's trouble, you're going to have the assault rifle, the guns, the rocket launchers, the grenades, which is the blessing of the sword, who is Esau Edom, the wicked. Psalm chapter 17, verse 13. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, the destruction of Babylon the Great, America, according to biblical prophecy. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, race wars, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition. What is sedition? Sedition is uproar, insurrection against, the government, not listening to the guidelines, the rules, the laws of the government among men, and invading one another. Why? Because the love of many shall wax cold, or shall be cold at that time, which are these times that we're living in. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Because a famine is right around the corner. The Most High is going to cause a great famine, a great shortage, man. We've been seeing a lot of scarcities in these different superstores, supermarkets, and grocery stores, domestically and globally, which indicates that a famine is right around the corner. And because of that, people are going to start going crazy. Because you got to also remember that the truckers are the ones that bring these different goods from these different warehouses and storehouses to these local supermarkets and grocery stores. And without the truckers, food won't be able to be transported from the shipping yards, from the storehouses to the stores, to the shelves. And that's going to cause a scarcity, and that's going to cause what is known as shrinkflation, which is basically an inflation in the cost for food and a depreciation in the volume or content of the food itself. So people are going to bug out, man. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying and concise to the elect. For the Spirit to do this lesson. Lord's willing, until the next, shalom to the elect.